Charity Gaming Guild presents the Nat Pun Podcast.
Hello, one and all. As you remember, I am Andy Limmy Poop Jenner, and I am here to talk to you about last week's episode. I am joined by my guests, and they are Noppy Bertie.
Very noppy,
Very Noppy. And I thought, Umbrastical, is that right?
No, I didn't.
Umbrastical Adonis.
Hi.
Or even John.
Hi.
Hello. You didn't get it. Why didn't you get it?
I can't give myself a word, can I? That's a bit weird.
Okay, well, I can. Twat. It is twat Ash.
Wow.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thanks, Barry. That was so much better.
As you know, I'm going to be talking to you about the episode that you hopefully listened to, and we're going to sort of explore what's happened. Now, one of the first things that we did during the episode was we talked about the calendar as it exists within the world of the Allhavens. Now, I had a splitting headache trying to understand that, so I'm going to pass you over to Ash to explain it once more time. What is that calendar looking like, Ash?
Let me get my notes.
Well, I know that the first part, so time in itself passes in the same way it does in the real world, as in there are 60 seconds to a minute, 60 minutes to an hour, and 24 hours in a day. So that part, time is exactly the same as we would all are all familiar with.
So, there are 10 days in a week, which we call a 10-day. There are 4 10 days in a month, but every third month has an additional half a 10-day.
So
5 days.
So if a week is a 10-day, what's a fortnight?
20 day, I suppose.
2 10-day.
2 10-day.
What do you call the 5-day?
Half 10-day.
Makes sense. Logical.
This is world building right here. 101. And then there are 10 months to a year. Should we do the month names in this episode?
Let's do the
Yes,
month.
please.
Oh, I'd love to know.
Okay,
the month.
so month number 1 is called Melorium. Month number 2 is called Laurelium. Month number 3 is called Cotrium. Month number 4 is called Emixium. Month number 5 is called Gororium. Month number 6 is called Manasarium. Month number 7 is called Ornithium. Month number 8 is called Axium. Month number 9 is called Madrium. And month number 10 is called Zeralium.
So we were in month number 9.
6 Manasarium.
I knew it began with an M.
Yeah, so your adventure started on the first day of Manasarium in the year 354.
So as players, what numbered month in our calendar were you born in? Because I'm September, so I'm 9th month.
So you're Madrium.
I'm a Madrium. Anyone 6?
6 would be Manasarium.
I'm 4. I'm an April baby.
Emixium.
Emixium.
I would be Laurelium.
Right, so anyone born in November and December just don't exist.
So that's what it doesn't matter.
They don't care. They don't
Sorry,
care.
no.
Sorry.
They can't play in this world.
Sorry, Jesus.
You already get screwed over with Christmas. We're just getting rid of your birthday altogether.
But the names of the months all mean something. They all come from somewhere. They're not just random names.
I was going to say, because you've got Melorium, which is
Right.
Laura,
That's
and
right.
So they're
Laura.
gods.
Imix,
Ah,
Emixium,
I thought you might
recognise Tuesday night, so I imagine some of the others are similar vein.
yeah. Yeah. So the ones people will know are Melorium and Azraelium, which are months 1 and 10. Because they were the first 2 gods to sort of populate the world, if you like. And then Emixium, which John knows from our Tuesday night game, is all to do with a fire and primordial. Ancient primordial energy that was used by Melora to form part of the world.
We also know there's 4 probably
Yeah.
elements, so imagine the others are in there as well.
They are, and you well,
I do know the names, but that's
Yeah,
about it,
exactly. Different notebook.
Yeah.
So who decided on the names for the months? Because surely if the first 2 gods, I would have thought they would have been like month 1 and 2. But if in month 1 and 10, why did it get split up in the way it is? Was that just happened that way?
I don't have an answer to that question.
Because the vessels of the All-Havens don't like to keep things simple.
That's fair.
I would have thought that it would be the vessels who would have named the months because everyone else has got like political agendas and things, but vessels are the only type of people in the world whose role and sort of allegiances don't change.
Maybe it was like a bingo pool. Like they put them all in a hat and then just pulled out. Month 1 is going to be.
Barnaby Throw is a very old man, so probably likes bingo. Do you like bingo, Andy? You like bingo?
No.
I love bingo. I play it so much on my phone.
Have you got your own dibber?
I did when I was at university. We cool university kids used to go to the local bingo hall, and I got my own little dibber.
Are they called? I thought they were called dobbers.
Those dibbers.
It's a pen. It's a pen.
It's got a special name like dibber or dobber or something.
It depends on where you are in the country, I think. Like scone and scone.
Okay, so we've got our 10 months.
Moving on. Yeah, so 10 months to a year.
10 months to a year. Okay, but I think we've missed some bits about, how many days in a month.
Yeah, so there
So it's
are
40.
4 10 days to a month, so 40 days in a month. Every third month has an additional half 10 day.
Right.
The problem is because of the way that pattern falls, the months that have the 45 days in change from year to year. So it's not the same month every year has 45 days, because it's only 10 months and then the third one.
Like we get a leap year.
Yeah, so it's kind
So
of
it's
like
their version
that.
of a leap year.
Yeah, kind of that.
And then fantasy calendar, why didn't you make it easy for yourself? Stagger 3 10 days to a month.
Yeah,
Not
what?
much
still
of that.
Was it for a specific reason that you set it up the way you did, or was it just like, ah?
For those of you who can't see, Ash's eye is twitching as he's trying to compute the
I
question.
wanted to try and myself insane. I don't know, to be honest. I wanted something original, something different. So I looked at how a 10-day works in the Faerun calendar, for example, in the official D&D world, and our 10-day works slightly differently to theirs. So I think with their months, they get an extra, like in the Faerun calendar, they get an extra half a month or something every 3 months. Something different. But I took that principle and applied it to days or weeks rather than months. So we get this weird kind of calendar that never properly lines up. And also, I think when you're playing games, it makes it sounds really bad, it makes it harder for players to work out where they are exactly in the timeline, which makes it easier for our war character DMs to tie things together, and things like that.
So have you gone to the extent of working out if someone is born within the All-Havens on one of the extra 5 days they get in a month? Because the months change every year that has the extra 5, how long is it before they get their next birthday?
I hadn't even thought of that.
But there is a set number of days in a year, though, isn't there?
Yeah, so it's still the same number of days, but then obviously the date will change. So, for example, in the year you're in at the moment, Ornithium, which is the month you're now in because you
Took ages.
blew the last month, there are 45 days. So if you were born on the 44th of Ornithium, there won't be a 44th of Ornithium for another 3 years.
You're looking at each other like one of you's going to figure that out.
Yeah, what you need. Calculator.
Calculator.
Andy's better with numbers than I am. That's why I'm looking at Andy.
So I think people would solve this by just having your birthday every 415 days.
Yeah.
So your birthday's constantly changing.
Yeah.
Do you know what, for me, I think would be the most annoying thing? Is if you're in a salaried job and you get paid the last of every month, that's going to suck from month to month, isn't it? Oh, it's only 40 days? Oh, it's 45 days to get paid. Shit.
Okay, we're moving on then from Quicksit.
I've got nothing else to add.
No, okay. Okay, so we've got this now nice new simple calendar system for our world.
Welcome everyone. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much,
I
Ash.
spoke a creative genius from me.
So we left on a epic journey to get to Timberminster, and we were travelling for a good number of days with our trusted goats, whose names were
Vanka.
Bastardo and Freddy. Our beautiful goats, our companions that were pulling our cart, and the first obstacle we came across was a large ravine with about 80 foot across, but the bridge had broken. Now, there was an obvious solution that would have been available to us if we had known all the facts about one of our characters, but we did not. And we'll come to that again a bit later. Although those that have heard the podcast will know exactly what I'm talking about. So we chucked left and we went further up the mountain until we came across this sort of a dead end, if you like, but it did give us a panoramic view of the mountains and the river below us. And we could see that actually, if we chucked to right, we could have gone down to the riverbank and continued our journey along the riverbank, which is what we did.
Can I just say on that bit, it was probably the first time that we've had where theatre of the mind had the potential to completely derail the situation. From the question of do we go left or right, and you went up or down, and both me and Charlie going, no, it's left or right. We're going left or right. You can go left on the bank, you can go right on the bank, up, climb the bank. There's no ladder here.
Someone with wings could have gone up. Just saying, John.
I'd like to refer you back to your point about if we knew the character had wings, yeah, that'd be useful if I did as well. Didn't realise till later.
So what you're saying, John, is you didn't angry.
Yes.
You didn't angry.
And I was looking through stuff later on.
It's interesting to bring up that theory of mine because I don't play theatre of mine very often. This is the first time we've really done it in depth, and there's a couple of times where in my head it's looked one way, and then you guys have described it or described what you're going to do in a way that doesn't make sense with what's in my head. Mm-hmm. So I've just adapted to what's in my head. But for some reason, with that encounter, my brain went, no, it's up or down. There is no left and right because you're going up a mountain. I was like, well, yeah, but yeah. It was interesting.
I think it was just the scale that, like, we were thinking of scale of we're standing on the edge of a river, and you're thinking you're standing on a mountain.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
See, I've got something there I'd like to say about theatre of the mind, but I don't think it's appropriate for this audience.
Nothing you say is appropriate for this audience.
Just cut it out.
Okay.
Sorry, that bad.
Okay, I was going to say the only time I engage in theatre of the mind is in the shower.
Yeah, definitely cutting that out. 100%.
I don't get it.
Okay, so let's explain.
We continue our journey. We go down the mountains to the St. Leonard's River, and we continue along the river bank until we see, surprisingly, a frozen waterfall and these little white lights flying about. Now, in typical sort of character, he's not interested, he wants to carry on. But Vesper wants to bloody explore them. So we have to stop. And that causes all sorts of problems, doesn't it? If you remember. Can you remember that far back? I know it was last week, but
Yeah,
it was only about an hour ago, but yeah.
Vague recollection.
Vague recollection. So, you go and you see these little sort of whitey, spritey things flying about.
Yeah.
And they're a bit cold.
Yeah.
One of them goes to lob a frozen rock at you.
Which I was fully prepared to accept the hit of a frozen rock. Like, it's a little white, whatever, the pixie thing. It obviously, I've done something to offend it. It's chucking a rock. There's a communication barrier. If it hits me, I'll be like, okay, sorry, I'll leave. Then Adonis, it's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
And of course, G, being the brave person that he is, was covering your backs from the safe distance behind the ghost.
That's not exactly what happened, though, was it? You untied the ghost to make a goat shield to hide in the
But
middle.
was trying to make a goat centipede.
It
Actually,
was a goat centipede, yeah. That was the attempted effort to make it so that they would completely sort of surrounds me. That was the word.
That was the word I was going for.
Yeah. See, now all of a sudden I've gone maths here. So if you actually divide the so if you divide the circumference of an apple by the diameter, do you get apple pie?
It's good to see that Andy's jokes are just as good as G's not telling skills. Right?
Okay. so fight breaks out. As we know. Sprites, these little pixie kids are throwing stones at this, and
Well, they actually were.
Go on
Do
then.
you know what creatures actually were?
Yeah.
They were ice methods.
That's the word, method.
Yes,
Yes.
ice methods. And it was only halfway through the encounter I remember the other half of the encounter was polar bear. Oh yeah, and him.
Yes, a polar bear. So we're dispatching them quite comfortably. They're not causing us too much. I mean, okay, a little bit of injury caused when these things explode.
You got the decadons, didn't you?
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, but that's not your fault. You're squishy. We're still relatively low, and we know, as per historical situations, that ash makes every combat deadly.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have to accept that we're always going to be low. I don't think we're ever going to level up in this game. I think that's just
70 days trap.
Do you want to level?
We also
Do you want to level up? Do you want to level?
we'll have a level.
Do you want to level? Do you want to level?
I mean, I want to deserve the
Do you
level.
want to level?
I want to deserve
That
it.
wasn't my question. Do you want it?
I'm always going to want it, but I want to deserve it based on my actions.
I'm going to say no because I don't want to be disappointed when you refuse it.
Well, in that case, just level yourselves up. Level yourselves up to level 4 for next time.
Right.
Level up. You have deserved it. Putting up with this.
For those of you, yeah. So we're merrily dispatching these ice miffids. Yeah. Yeah, with the exception of Adonis, who seems to be taking quite a bit of damage from exploding miffids. Fortunately, the kind-hearted Vesper's there to heal him. But then one of them buggers off and has a chat with a frozen waterfall, which I thought in itself was a bit odd, and then invites a polar bear to join the fight.
Which ended in terrific style, bursting through the frozen waterfall.
It did,
Oh, yeah.
and I had to accept that, and I think I mentioned in our podcast that Leary Oob did escape from my hands.
Can I ask why it specifically went that they were pointed at G, the little methods?
It killed most of them.
Yeah, because you were doing the majority of damage.
Oh, because you've done quite a bit with your fire though.
I didn't actually finish
hit
them
the
off.
deck.
I had to actually
Oh,
finish them
that's
off,
true.
I think.
I don't think they saw that as a threat, seeing as you died in that race pretty
Well,
quickly.
they are mistaken. That's how I fight.
That's how I fight, from an unconscious position.
Lure them into a false sense of security. So yeah, polar bear charging me down. I whipped it, and I did the only sensible thing, and that was run away and climb a tree.
Do you know the only reason that Vesper came over to stand by you is because you were next to the cart and the guards? You hadn't. She was genuinely like, "Where is he on the field? He's near our boats and our cart. I have to protect them." She's like, "I'm happily let you be attacked so I can get the goats and the cart out of here."
That's good to know.
Yeah.
Good to know for future episodes.
The other
Right.
times that you have buggered off when I have been
Excuse me?
hurt.
Was I not shooting the little ice muffins? Or
Yes, so they exploded in my face over and over again.
I personally blame you for me being knocked unconscious.
Thank you very much. You can see my character is very nice to see. At least I've got Tash to talk to.
Oh, yes,
So is everybody else. That's the
So yeah, I mean, I don't know whether or not. I mean, you're obviously the BM, so you could tell us. But would a polar bear have been able to climb a tree?
I think they're tall enough that it could have just reached you because you're only 15 feet up.
For a large creature.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
The polar bear was always going to eat the goats. Always.
Like,
I'm gonna.
not as companions, they will die.
So the thing is, that encounter was 6 ice methods to the polar bear. That is a deadly encounter for you guys, so I halved the ice method's hit points.
Okay.
The problem with that is they explode much more quickly and still cause damage. But then the polar bear would probably have damned any one of you within a round because it's got multiple attacks and things like that as well. So I had to make the polar bear a threat you had to deal with without just murdering all 3 of you. So those 3 goats were like 3 ablative wounds, if you like. So you almost got 3 rounds to try and
Yeah.
deal with the polar bear, or it deals with you. So in that way, I tried to make the encounter still threatening, but not TPK material necessarily.
Also, let's go back to Bertie's point that attacking the ghosts got us more emotionally involved in the fight than anything
Yes.
else. Right, so John's out down there or whatever. Get the ghost. No.
It's a good fun as well. I could do 3, 1 or 2 would have been Vanka, 3 or 4 would have been Stardo, and 5 or 6 was Freddy. I think I rolled a 5 and got Freddy.
Freddy. So based on your approach to encounter setting, and you always go deadly, how many characters are we going to have to sort of develop personally for this campaign?
Well, you should all have a backup character ready to go.
What?
That's right.
Yeah. I never mentioned Vesper has a twin. There's no.
Just
Yeah.
So that was the first encounter. Did it go well, guys, in your view? I mean, we're alive, so I guess that's a success.
I think it's because it was something a little bit different as well. Because it wasn't just ogres. It wasn't just ogres.
Yeah.
It was a polar, which I think the bit that surprised me was the polar bear, because in my head we were walking through a valley that was like lush and green, and then there's a polar bear. So that was a little bit like, maybe I'm not imagining this how Ash is imagining it, but at the same time, I also was like, should we have checked behind that waterfall? Because it was obviously big enough to have housed a polar bear. There could have been something.
Check. What do you think about?
No, in the 4 days that we took to recover from your fire, we never looked in that place.
Yeah, that could have been the baby bear, and we come across its mummy and daddy, so I would have gone in there.
I think it's interesting because you did imagine it how I imagined it. The fact that it was all frozen was because of the ice methods and their kind of impact on the area. I'm just trying to find my little notes to tell you the kind of prompt I had for that encounter, but I can't find it.
Because the ice methods make sense, but then the polar bear, I was like, they just have a pet polar bear that they just hang with.
That's exactly it.
Nice.
Yeah, they've literally got a pet polar.
I liked it though. There's always a part of me that thinks that I can tame it. Well, regardless of what we come up against, when it's a monster, I'm like,
I will talk to it first.
so it's I'm like, does it definitely look like it's going to attack? And you're like, yes.
If we ever go on a joint holiday to perhaps the forests of North America, and we see a grizzly bear, remind me not to.
Yeah, listen.
Stand there, Bertie.
I'm good. I know what to do with the grizzly bear.
Outlanded.
Trip Andy.
So the prompt I had for that encounter was, the party find a small waterfall that's always frozen. The group of ice leopards live here with their pet polar bear. If anyone goes to investigate the waterfall closely, they'll warn the party to stay away. If the party is persistent, they will let loose their pet.
Oh, so it was literally, we didn't have to do anything. We didn't have to kill their pet. If only we could have spoken their language.
Yes.
Yeah, what language do they speak?
One that you can't.
It's good to
Chris
know.
Methodist.
A Methodist.
Yes.
Okay, so we managed to survive, which was good. We took a fairly long rest, and then we carried on. And our next stop was, I think, my favourite. We found the Goblin Ski Resort,
Yes.
where we met our good friend Niblet.
Was Niblet based on anybody that we know, or was it just an NPC?
So it was just an NPC. I had a goblin character that I made called Niblet Gitsticker, who was basically a goblin with 2 hand crossbows and absolute terror, so I've never played it. So I needed a goblin name quickly, and that was the first one that popped into my head. What did happen though, when I said there's more like 150 to 200 goblins, and then said to Andy, would you like me to introduce them to you all? For a moment in my head I went, oh shit, what is he wanting to do? I've got to name 150 to 200 goblins. But no, it wasn't actually based upon anybody. It was generic goblin. Do you want the prompt?
Yeah.
It just says, a ski resort operates on a hidden slope that is run by goblins.
I think you did remarkable. I also think it's an opportunity for listeners to submit names for the ski resort on the private Discord to see what's there.
Because I've marked that ski resort on the map, so we need a name because I can't put Goblin Ski Resort on our world map. It needs a name.
Absolutely, because that is where I am going back for my holidays.
Yeah, so jump on the Discord, find the Nat Pun chat, and start putting names in there for the Goblin Ski Resort.
And I will always say it. Any art, if you have in your brain, I think this is what it looks like, and you want to draw it and send us pictures, please do.
Like Adonis falling off the ski lift.
Yes.
So-
Smack in his face.
I know exactly how that feels. We went skiing in Finland 7 years ago. We're going up on the tea lift and sliding me and Claire from side to side, tangle our skis up, the pair of us stack, trip the bloke behind us up as well. Everyone else was more skilled and sort of skiing around us as we rolled off to the side. And had to then walk through the trees to get back to the ski slopes.
So what you're saying?
I decided to James Bond it and ski through the trees, come around this tree, there was a branch of chestnut, literally cartoon. Snow.
So what you're saying in real life, you roll in that one?
Yeah, very much. I know how this feels.
We should actually adopt that approach in real life. If we had an incident that would have been a result of that one, we should just sit up and say a pun.
Tell a joke.
Yeah.
Make it feel better, won't it?
Absolutely.
For me, it was the, I'll look after the goats. Great.
Yeah, now you mentioned that, though, I really wish I had said yes. I'd love to see you struggle to try and find 150 to 200 names for goblins. I should have said yes.
Fancy name generator.
Dodged a bullet there.
Yeah. Was there any rationale why Niblet, without having just met us, why did he suddenly sort of just hand out a goblin-headed pendant which can be used to escape a dodgy situation? And what way was it? Vesper got it rather than me.
Well, he alluded to that, didn't he? Because he did tell you that most people who he comes across try and kill him.
Yeah, but I didn't try and kill him. Why was it Vesper?
No, so that's why he was friendly to you all. And I think Vesper was just engaging with him in conversation at the time.
I'm just so charismatic.
Well,
And probably would have beaten you to crap if he'd given it to you. Not, why? Why don't I get a present?
you could have tried, but then I would have swallowed it and got away.
Or would you?
You can have a second go.
Let's move for chocolate.
Nice.
Are you able to tell us how it gets? I know we did a little bit of it's got illusion magic. So are you able to confirm exactly how it gets us out?
Absolutely not.
No, it's a surprise.
That's a surprise.
I'm excited for that. I mean, I'm interested as well as to what situation Vesper would think would warrant using it. The fact that she's just caught in a conversation she finds really uncomfortable. She's like,
Just like any conversation with Gene.
it's not working.
Okay, so we then get to we got to the top of the ski slopes and we went over to the guy dishing out the skis, which of course because they're all goblin size, we're not big enough for us, but he did offer us alternatives. And in my excitement to participate, I gave him a retirement fund.
You did. 3 whole gold pieces.
3 whole gold pieces. I don't know what came over me, to be honest. I was just so excited.
No. Well, he was pleased.
I bet it was.
Was there other stalls and things that we could have interacted with, or was it just the piss drink that was available?
Yeah, I can still taste that.
And there would have been other stuff there. I mean, I had nothing prepared,
Okay.
so I would have had to ad-lib it. But had you have wanted to explore the town a bit more, you could have done potentially.
What we didn't explore was how he reacted to the gift I gave him in return for the piss drink.
Yeah.
I think there might have been a reason for that.
Yeah.
The little chocolate log.
Well, we'd have to go back and ask him if he enjoyed it.
Unless, of course, I had diarrhea, which goes in a chocolate drink.
We've got to come back the same way, haven't we?
We have. Well, I'm going back there for a holiday.
So last night.
Yeah. So, and then we showed off our snowboarding abilities. Oh, we missed an opportunity. Where was the snowman building? Why did we not do that?
That's true.
Don't look at me.
13, why did we not build snowmen?
I think we were a little bit distracted.
Do you want to build a snowman?
I was just very keen to get back down the bottom to meet Patch. As soon as I heard that, I was like, screw this goblins, I'm getting down that hill.
But John, was that another thing you'd forgotten you could do?
No.
Oh, yeah, you hadn't got around to it.
So he was originally going to be tucked under the arm, like in session 1, but I forgot about it at that point when we were introducing characters. So I thought, well, I'm not just I'll do it as we're travelling. Makes sense. So I've waited basically until the point where he's a bit bored and on his own.
I thought that was interesting as well, that was the point that you decided to bring out a familiar that wouldn't walk.
While we're travelling,
So I
something else to carry.
You picture him as one of those really old dogs you see in the pub that basically hobbles in or is carried in and then just goes plonk and sits
It's got
on the
like
floor.
the straight legs that don't bend when it walks. Yeah.
And then just kind of flops on the floor.
Familiar is supposed to sort of serve some sort of purpose
He
for
does, he's a
it.
companion familiar.
So he's just a companion. He does nothing else other than allow you to stroke
Apparently
him.
he barks at stuff and finds little cursed boxes in the woods, but most of the time no. So he shouldn't do much.
So he's a bit shit, really.
Yeah, pretty much. He didn't even guard a body very well, did he?
No, not really.
Every bit of me.
Yeah. I mean, we obviously enjoyed the resort because I think we spent the best part of.
A 10-day.
Yeah, you were there a long time.
Yeah, we had a holiday there. It was great. I got snow blind and snow tanned, and it was great.
I like the idea that because of how much time we spent there, maybe there's like a little leaderboard of like people who've got down the slopes the fastest, and we're somewhere on that leaderboard.
Well, we got when you did do the editing on this, you've got to put the Ski Sunday music over the spit.
What's Ski Sunday?
Oh, you're showing your age again, Andy.
You go to the BBC archives.
Way.
In 1962.
Oh, all these children are with. Surrounded by children. Right. Moving on then.
Talking
kids.
to children.
So we finally left, although G did have a tear in his eye as he hugged each and every goblin goodbye.
Why? Why was he sad?
Because he was having so much fun, and G finds it difficult to find people that like him. Even you don't like, well, I say you, even Vespa doesn't like him.
I never said that.
Oh, you just said you only came to protect the goats, not him.
That doesn't mean I don't like you. It means she's strategic thinking.
So to find anybody that shows him any form of love or attention, that's it. He's there, and he was sad to leave.
It's very interesting the difference between the first village we were in, where you're like, I don't want to get involved, I don't want to speak to anyone, fuck off child who wants some chicken, to then, I love these goblins. They gave me piss water to drink. It's just an interesting dynamic.
Yeah, that could be because I forgot that's what I was like in the first. Remember, I'm old.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't. Yes, I'm. Remember you. I mean, are we challenging me now? Are you going to go down that route where I'm going to then tell the entire world how you maybe spend a lot of money on a game?
You keep blaming me.
Yes.
Have you got your letter from the king yet?
No. I'm not that old.
It's like King Edward.
King Henry?
I wrote no letters.
So we finally left. Moving on. And we, after a good number of days, we finally came across the edge of the Forest of Fortitude. And that was a rather troubling looking place. I think you described it with trees the size of skyscrapers.
Yes, I did.
I'm not sure that in the All Havens we're aware of what a skyscraper is.
No, probably not, but you are.
Yes, I am.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
Because in my head, it's trees the size of skyscrapers, but they're really close to each other. Are they really far apart? Because you said as we were travelling, we came across a clearing. So were they quite compact together? Because trying to visualise that was quite
If you
difficult.
imagine like a normal forest, and now
Yes,
just make
okay.
everything bigger.
Okay.
I always picture the redwood forests in America
Yeah.
where the trees are quite spaced, but there's loads of underbrush and stuff in between them, which makes it difficult. That's the way I always picture it.
Yeah.
A bit like you, these huge trees, they wouldn't be
Yeah.
No, they're not
right
right.
next to each other.
I mean, I actually thinking about it, one thing we didn't explore, because you said that the trees, as you say, were fairly close together, but there was no obvious path, there was no roadway or pathway. But we didn't actually check whether or not the cart could still get through.
But that was kind of where my head was, because I thought if the trees are that big, they've got to have space between them for the roots, because otherwise they'd just all be dead. And I was like, the size of the trees, the space they'd have to have between them for the roots to be able to not kill each other, there would have to be enough room for the cart.
But you were applying the natural laws of our world to the growth of these trees rather than the Allhavens. Maybe the roots just go straight down, so they continue the diameter of the tree trunk, but they go hundreds of feet down.
It's true.
Who knows?
I also relied on the fact that Ash never asked us to roll to see if the cart was getting stuck.
It's fine. These trees are spaciously parted. Right, so the car went through. We went through, and then we found, oddly, a clearing. I mean, my character G was marking the pathway, just so he was cutting crosses into the trees, just so we could track. And if we came across one, we'd know we're going around in circles. Because without a pathway, it would have been very easy to get lost. And I guess if the trees are that tall, and the tree canopy potentially could have obscured stars, whatever, so we would have found it very difficult to navigate.
I think when you come back through here at some point in a journey or in another campaign, there's going to be this path of trees that have been cut down where the wood choppers have come through and go, oh, this one's marked, let's chop them up. Big path all that way.
So yes, we then come across a clearing, and there was this wraith of a little girl laying down, fetal position, dirty as hell. No sign of life, and that was good enough for G and Vesper. We were, yeah, she's dead. Let's go. But no, someone had to sort of throw a spanner in the works and make us stop.
Yes. I'm not ashamed of it. The right thing to do, isn't it?
What was it that made you? Was it just a character thing, or was there something that you kind of like? I think we should investigate this more. Whereas we were like, avoid.
So it is a character thing.
Yeah.
So Adonis is Arcane University.
Arcane Academy.
Arcane Academy.
Astral Academy.
Astral
Academy.
So he worked before at the Astral Academy and he's a teacher or wants to be a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So he's super sympathetic towards kids and there is no way he'd leave one out in the woods.
Okay.
Also, it's really cool. I want to go poke it as a player. What's this?
I was surprised by your reaction, Andy.
Why?
Well, there were shades of Mara there.
There were, and that is something that as a player, as a person, I would relate to.
Yeah.
But that's not what this character's about.
No.
So if it had been something like Brint, yeah, Brint would have been there. Very protective. But this guy, he's all about self-preservation. He's not, as I think we've kind of established before, he's a bit of a coward. He's not overly confident in his own abilities to survive, which is why he looks for people to be with who could perhaps protect him. And even if it gets a bit dangerous, he will let it. I mean, there is a story, a backstory to him that hasn't come out yet, and I'm not going to say what it is because I'm hoping I can bring it out in some way during a future episode that will give you a bit more of a flavour as to, the type of character he is. Doesn't mean to say it's the sort of character he wants to be, so there's perhaps scope for character growth there. But currently, this is what he is.
The little girl didn't turn out to be what I thought either.
What did you think of the little girl?
So, I know obviously about that region in the Allhavens, it's rumoured about where creatures and all the rest of it, girl in the woods, assumed when it hit nightfall, she was going to transform into a werewolf and try and murder us. That's where I thought that was going.
And you still wanted to check her out?
Yes! So help her.
What did Vesper think? I don't remember how he reacted.
She was immediately suspicious. I think after you finished describing it, I was like, no. Because it just got more no as we went on, because it was the description of there are no tracks in the grass, so you can't see even where she's walked there. She's just appeared in the middle of this clearing. It's super suspicious. And it was only because you're like, no, we can't leave her. She's like, fine, but no.
Again, I think from Adonis's point of view, her just appearing with no tracks, it's just like, magic. It happens.
Yeah.
So,
Which I think is interesting
let's
because
worry about it.
for Vesper, she doesn't do with magic. She has no experience with magic. It's not something she deals with. She knows it's there. She doesn't understand it. So she's more likely to not go, oh yeah, that makes sense. Magic could do that. She go, that's not normal. But again, also didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be transforms into something like an evil spirit that comes and like tries to murder us in her sleep, sort of thing. But instead, she gets murdered in her sleep. Hey.
Tell us about that, Andy.
Well, before that, there's other bits and pieces that came before that. 'Cause if you remember, G used one of his Kalastar abilities. He can sort of telepathically communicate with a creature. Any creature that understands a language, no matter what language it is, he can communicate telepathically with that creature, and that creature will understand and can respond, again, regardless of whether we're speaking the same language. So I thought I would try that to see whether or not there was anything going on with her, even in her unconscious state, and that's where we first established there was something a little bit more to this child than just an unfortunate wraith that is just sort of sitting in the waif, not wraith, waif. No, I said wraith.
Feel good a bit of rain.
She is now.
But she's so she's yeah, and that's where I first encountered whatever it is that's within that told me I'm not the chosen, and then sort of launched me back with some sort of psychic force blast.
And your reaction to that, was it
Killer.
reaction? Yeah, but was it because of fear? Was it because you were upset that you weren't the chosen? Because it was quite a significant reaction.
It's fear.
Okay.
It's I knew she was a threat.
Yeah.
Or no, not knew. I perceived her as a threat, or my character perceived her as a threat. Without any warning, without any attempt to communicate with me, she just sort of pushed me back with a force. And I think, well, okay, this thing can hurt me. I'm scared. The only way to ensure that I'm not going to be hurt is if that doesn't exist. So yeah, I made my mind up there and then. She's got to go.
Okay.
That was quite a dark response, wasn't it?
Very dark.
That's why you're not the chosen one.
So above my table of players, what do you think she is?
A trap.
I have a feeling she's, given what we've sort of seen so far and the vision of the owl, maybe some sort of like aspect of Targwyn. Something like that.
Because she led us to that, the gold, whatever, led us to that box.
Well, she did actually.
We hadn't
Yes.
got to the box yet.
But
Or we hadn't at that point.
yeah, but it's as a result of the fact that that came as part of meeting her. I was like, why would she lead us to something linked to Zaphon if it isn't something to do with Zaphon? I don't know why another god or entity would link you to something from another god or entity without some kind of explanation, because immediately you'd go, oh, this is representative of the person that I'm communicating with.
I didn't put that together at all.
Yeah.
I just thought evil bitch gotta die.
It didn't feel like it was Zaphon in game. I've met Zaphon in other games, so I kind of know the vibe. It
Yeah.
didn't feel quite the same.
But it's also because knowing Saffron as the actual player character, and then the changes that have happened, he kind of was becoming a bit more like Asmodeus, however you want to say it, who is trickery, king of lies and stuff. So he potentially was just getting better at tricking people. So, yeah.
Because I think it was at this point in the game where Tash, whose name I didn't know, even though she was still had co-inhabited my body for an entirety of my life. Tash noticed and relayed to me the gold glow that was emanating from both the little girl, but now beginning to show around Adonis's figure as well. And I was, once she told me, I was about to tell you all without realising that actually you'd already heard it all. Because I kind of probably didn't realise that my character has an audible conversation with Tash.
But I think that's for us as well, because it made sense for you to be speaking out loud, but then when you said, oh no, you can hear her as well because it's just me using a different voice, I thought you were just hearing her in your head, not that you were saying the things of her at the same time.
I mean, yeah, my character is to a degree, it's different to most Alistar. I mean, if you read the background, it does say that actually, normally, Alistar do not communicate directly with their spirit. They kind of get dreams and snippets of memories. But there was a table that you can roll on for traits, and one of the options, which I did roll, number 5, was that I actually speak loudly, have an actual audible conversation with my spirit, and that's the one I got. So yeah, I'm a kind of a bit of an oddball with regard to my rates.
I think the way you lean into that's great from a character perspective, and sort of from a party perspective, because you could have just said, well, I speak my bit out loud and the rest of it's in my head. Actually, by speaking both parts, it means that your spirit voice and your spirit guide as well is part of the group and all actively contributing.
Yeah.
And there's no secrets or hidden stuff there.
And it makes it easier because later on, like where Tash could see the gold, it saves you having had the conversation and then translating it to us. We could just go, yeah, we heard it, cool, let's go.
It kind of, I mean, you may or may not have actually thought this yourself, but it also adds options going forward. So there's nothing that sort of, for example, you could decide, I wonder what Tash thinks. You could start trying to have a conversation directly with Tash.
Yeah. It opens it up for that, which I think is nice because we can hear that response rather than it being like you talking to yourself and then relaying to us. It makes it, cuts out the middleman. But yeah, it's like having a fourth party member.
You could have a girl talk with Tash.
Maybe.
I don't know what happens if you die and we resurrect you at some point. Who do we get back?
So, at that point, we knew that there was something going on, and I was quite convinced that she was an evil bitch and needed to die. So I waited. I didn't. I'm a good boy. But my character, G, waited for you guys to sleep, and although you'd put a little patch on guard, he was easily bribed with a little bit of Freddy, and then I slit her throat.
Yes. That was, I wasn't expecting you to go quite that dark with it.
What were you?
That took me back a little bit. I thought you'd say, I get around to not like, let's slit her throat. It's down on the spirits. Slide in the heart.
Other options were there to kill her. I'm not going to stab her in the heart. I mean, either way, she's dead. I'm killing her, regardless.
I wasn't expecting that as well.
Okay.
I also didn't think you'd do it quite that way, but
it's self-preservation. He will do whatever he thinks is necessary to keep him alive, keep himself alive, because he's a big, scaredy cat. And of course, then it all went a bit odd.
Yeah, well, I got woken up because I felt it happen to me.
Yeah.
In terms of kind of, whatever the link was.
Yeah, you, if memory serves, and I say that as if it was last week, but it wasn't. You felt
Stop
the
breaking the
same.
mystery.
You felt the same pain that she would have potentially have felt if she was conscious of the knife being drawn across your throat. Although there was no physical injury, and you obviously had no blood, but you felt that sort of slice of your throat.
Yeah. Woke up, was not very happy or impressed with you or Patch. Very, easily bribed dog, useless.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not on guard duty anymore, he can just cuddle up with you. But yeah. So yeah, Adonis was pissed, and will stay pissed for a while about that. He'll bring it up occasionally. Forwards, I imagine, as well.
I don't think it's just going to get dropped. It's the the fact. So you're just going to kill people when we're asleep, are you?
Yeah.
I think it's probably a conversation that's needed to be had.
Yeah. Once we're somewhere safe.
Yeah.
Only if I feel threatened. So don't threaten me.
Be alright. We'll be fine. We'll figure it out as we go. I imagine we're going to be threatened a lot, though. It is D&D.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, us as a party, yes. But whether you lot threaten G directly.
Giving me
As I say, I've got, in my mind, and I don't know whether you guys are the same, I've got a plan of where I would like my character to go. I've got a plan of how I want him to develop. How I want him to face up to his past and change. Because he's not happy with who he is. He is who he is. But with some help and guidance, but hopefully that can change. And that's something I would like to explore during future episodes. But obviously, what I don't want to do is sort of give you to say, it's fine, because then that just ruins it all.
I think it's going to be interesting. Now we've found a little box of Zaphon powder, what G's got and then Zaphon finally makes an appearance, which inevitably, what he will do is we've got a little bit of Zaphon powder, a fate's going to happen with him.
Because that was the next part.
G's going to brick it.
Yeah, and that was the next part of the story, wasn't it? We saw this sort of glowing pathway weaving through the trees, which we followed, and we found this god-awful tree and the box. And then Vesper seemed to have recognised the box, but had a bit of a brain fart. Couldn't quite.
Because I was like, I've got it on a t-shirt, I've got it on a t-shirt, I've got it on a t-shirt. What was that t-shirt for? Come on, Ray, remember. And I was like, no, can't get it. Couldn't get it at all.
It was about the Dark Ascension, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which was made by Niall. Niall made that.
Yeah.
Fun fact for him. Which is funny, given Niall's relationship with Zaphon.
Yes.
What that was like in the campaign. With the bromance that exists. So I think Dave Freeman has now canonically created a romance novel that actually exists somewhere in the world.
I have read parts.
Yes?
Yes.
Well, there we go.
Yeah.
All the fun you can discover.
In the Discord.
So we opened the box. I got to admit, I was, to a degree, a little disappointed with the content. Just blue powder. I thought there'd be something more in there.
Have you not joined the dots? Do
Obviously
you not
not.
work out what the blue powder is?
Obviously not.
I think John knows what the blue powder is. But if you work out what the blue powder is,
No, because my brain got fixated on the fact that it was raspberry sherbet
it wasn't raspberry sherbet.
and couldn't let that go.
What happened at the end of Azrael Sundering? Can you recall? You had the
I can't recall what I had for breakfast. That was something I did last November.
that one.
Before, wasn't it?
Yes.
Like 2 years ago.
This that, isn't it? Azrael Sundering was the first ever one we did.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So last year was Wings of Gold, then before that Dark Ascension, and
21,
before
I
that Sorry Uprising, and before that. So 4 years ago.
Yeah.
No, you honestly expect me to remember saying 4 years
I
ago?
put my heart and soul into that adventure, you won't even remember it.
No.
I remember the end of that adventure. Fighting on the tower and then running down through the city. You don't remember. I can't picture how the box links to that adventure.
So
either.
if you go back to that adventure, when you fight Zaphon on top of the tower, well, the adventurers fought Zaphon on top of the tower, he is killed in that adventure, and left behind is a pile of blue dust. So the blue dust has been collected by somebody and deposited in boxes. And this is not the first box of blue dust that has been found in adventures, as John will know. On Tuesday night Streets of Dragonmouth game, they have also found a box of blue dust.
Which does then also raised the question about why Adonis used the extremely safe and scientific method of testing it, sticking his bloody finger in, waving it about, and licking his finger. Why? John, over to you. Why would you do that?
I thought that's how you tested all powders.
Okay.
That's not how I test powders. Right, honestly.
Oh, is that talc?
We are not recommending or condoning anyone any substance or wine by shoving their finger in it and licking it.
Unless you know that it is sherbet.
Just a little disclaimer there before we get any kind of lawsuits.
Nah, it's going to slide. What's the worst that can happen?
I've done the disclaimer, we're fine with it.
It's all good.
So yeah, we find this powder. We're not quite sure what to make of it. Then we carry on, and because of some legendary dice rolling, we end up walking around in circles.
Not dice roll on their survival checks. I wanted to die on the inside. My God, I'm like, really? It's not that hard. And then it's like, I've got all the results here.
Yeah.
Like G, 1, 7, 12 is still a fail. Vesper, there was a 1, a 7, a 5, a 9, a 4. Adonis,
It was not good.
4, 3, 3, 7, 8, 6.
But we only took 70 days on a 60-day journey, and bearing in mind a good part of that extra 10 days was us having fun at the ski resort.
That's true.
Yeah, I couldn't take half the year away like I should have done. But like I said when we were playing, there were other consequences because you took longer than on that journey. Things are now further in motion than they would have been even just.
Is that stuff that we've seen or are aware of yet, or background stuff?
A little of both.
Intriguing.
Can I ask a question? This is just going back to the blue dust. This might be above
What
table.
did it taste like?
Well, actually, I was going to ask:
Got that.
is Zaphon somewhere in the world going? Don't just lick me. And suddenly has a weird wet patch somewhere on his body.
We'll have to share. We know from the Tuesday.
Yeah, that's one.
So in the Tuesday night campaign, we got asked by a little girl to go into a box shop, and we found a little box like this.
Another little girl.
There's another little girl.
Okay.
Was she
They ended
going
up dead as well, didn't they? I think I remember rightly. Mommy, Daddy, the whole family ended up dead. Anyway, had a little box with the same symbol on filled with the blue dust, and it ended up Zaphon appeared from the box at some point.
Okay.
So don't know if that's necessarily going to happen here.
Did we take the box with us?
It's in the bag.
He's got it in his bag.
Of course I have.
So you knew what happened to the
Absolutely.
As a player, you know. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
It tastes like cinnamon and it flew. We're going to stick it on the steaks. It'll be fun.
Okay.
In game, that's what Adonis thinks.
It's seasoning.
It's seasoning.
Are you feeling tired yet? Is your character need to get bed?
So this is why it's
Just saying,
interesting.
just saying.
Find out what it means actually.
Because I think he might be a threat to me, and if I can avoid that threat, I'm going to.
It's absolutely attractive.
I like to try and throw these bits and pieces in which link to other games and campaigns. So people who are listening as well, who might have played Nezra or Sundering, may or may not spot that, and if they listen to this episode as well, then they might remember things that happened, or about the Tuesday night game as well, what plans of throwing other things in the future that link back to other games other people have played in or run.
Yeah, I love that. I think that's really cool. Because when you, like I said before, when you spot one of those, you're like, I know what that's from. And other times, other people are going, I don't get it.
Going back to what you just asked me though, I knew that and I picked it up anyway. Absolutely. Like that is knowing what it is and going, yeah, this could be funny.
It could be funny, not this could kill us all in our sleep.
It's interesting the interactions with Zaphon. There's been a lot of them in the Tuesday night game, hasn't there? It's been quite prevalent. So a lot of the time they start almost like, because of the way Zaphon talks and his mannerisms, they almost start like hard, like a joke. I think it's more more serious and then darker and then more serious and then darker again. And Stuart, in his infinite wisdom, literally last week threatened Zaphon. So the consequences of that will play out in a couple of weeks' time. But again, that could happen in this game with G potentially. If G feels threatened himself and makes a threat against Zaphon, who knows where that might lead to.
G's first kind of defensive thought is run away.
Can you run away from God?
He can try.
You certainly can.
I guess going back to, we're making links with the experience of the Tuesday night game. So how many players play in that Tuesday night game?
6, 7? 6.
6 players, and what level are you?
Well, so most of us are 6, one of us is 8.
So you've got 6 or 7 players, predominantly level 6, and you think it's a wise idea to bring this same box to 3 players who are all level 3?
4. Level 4.
Oh, level 4. Okay.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Because...
Go to sleep.
And so the experience of Leopard that I've got as a player above table, seeing that our characters don't know any of it, he doesn't do anything to directly harm you. Not in a... It's kind of always your choice, your decision. He puts you in situations that are absolutely going to mess you up and make you go, what am I doing? Oh no. But I don't think I've seen him ever physically harm anybody in any of the games. He clearly would, but he never does. So I'm not particularly bothered about that. As a player above table, I don't think he'd be afraid. He's not just going to walk in and stab you. It's not the way he does things.
Okay. I
Ash?
thought it was an obvious.
Do I need to add anything to that?
No.
He's I think you're right.
I thought that session was very different to others we've done, and I actually really enjoyed the sort of the mechanic behind it. So that the depicting this journey and how we're getting on and the little adventures we have on the way. I thoroughly enjoyed that. I enjoy all of our games. Well, I'm being polite here for you, Ash.
Thanks, Andy. I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
Feigned enjoyment.
But yeah, I thought that personally, I thought that went well. Session. I got out of it. I think what I needed as a character, I was able to just impart a little bit more of my personality and what's going on in my own personal life. What about you guys? Was there anything you wanted to achieve in that particular session that you did or didn't?
So for me, I wanted to get Patch out. As I said earlier, but he was supposed to be there in session 1 and I forgot. So it was a good excuse to get Patch out. I also think it was nice that G and Vesper had your moment on the ski slope.
Mm-hmm.
Just the two of you kind of thing. I know you don't split the party as the general rule, but you were going to come down within an hour or so. I think it would be fairly safe. But again, you took guys some space to do some role play together as well. And then some character growth, I think, from everybody. Like I say, some G stuff. I think got some from Adonis. And again, your reaction to the girl in the woods wasn't what I was expecting, right, in terms of what Vesper would do. So I think, it's a bit more about everybody's character, I think.
Still can't believe you've not mentioned wings yet.
Yeah. That was, for me, it was the... Oh, by the way, I've got wings. Oh, by the way, I've got a familiar. Oh, by the way, I talked to myself. I know we kind of experienced that in the game, but you hadn't actually communicated it to us. So that was fun to find it on that journey, those little bits of... I don't think it was just because you forgot you had wings. But to have... Oh, it seems like an appropriate time to bring this out.
Yeah, fly away from the polar bear so I don't get eaten. Yeah, makes sense. They only last, so I don't quite know how to, as a mechanic, you can fly for 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So I picture them as spectral wings rather than real wings, because if you've got real wings, then that doesn't make any sense. So it's like a spell is the way I picture it.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't have seen it until there was a need for him to get out of the way.
Oh yeah, because if they'd been real, she definitely would have been like, where have you been hiding those?
Yeah, well, what are those things in your back? Are they useless?
That's cool. I think it's... Vesper, spoilers, doesn't really have anything like that about her. So her stuff is like, you were saying, Anne, there's more kind of backstory bits that would come up in RP, not necessarily, here's my tail that I've just been hiding down my trousers. Let me just whip that out. Nothing like that is coming. Well, I don't know, maybe something in the Zaphon box.
Do you have a tack?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
Sorry, me or Vespa?
Oh, Vespa.
Yeah, no, Vespa definitely. Yeah, so it's fun to have those little tidbits and to be.
You've got some character traits that you still want to sort of develop and bring out in this, which is good. I think that's part of the beauty of this gaming system, that your character can continue to develop, not just physically
the
with your
needs
attributes,
arises. Is it because like the bit with the kids? It's like I didn't necessarily know that she was going to react like that until she saw it, but it was as a result of the things that happened previously on their travels. Because if the ice methods hadn't gone the way it had, she wouldn't have had an issue going up to that child. But because she went up to these things that looked seemingly innocent and fine, and then they all got attacked, she's like, no, I remember what happened before. I'm not going in there.
But then your experience with goblins was a positive one.
Yeah.
I mean, goblins in the world of D&D historically aren't renowned for their friendliness. They tend to be quite... Yeah.
But I mean, if the girl had run up to us with like skis in her hand and gone, do you want to go sledding? She would have been like, sure. But she's seemingly, it's a bit more heightened and trusting.
And I guess the environment would have added to that.
Oh yeah, super suspicious of the whole wood scenario anyway, so she was already on high alert. Don't trust wood.
Do you want to rephrase that?
No, I said it exactly how I meant it.
Okay. Good to know. Anything else, guys, you want to cover off?
What about from your perspective?
Yeah, Ash, did you go the way you...
So, I think I mentioned this off recording. Like, I agonised about whether to do a travel session or not. I'm glad we did it the way we did it, because it put you guys in different scenarios and situations, which forces you to act slightly differently. We got a combat one, which is rather good, because a bit of combat, bit of that. But so I've got literally, there's 40 different encounters, 20 for the mountains and 20 for the forests, and we used like, 4 off that list. So it could have been anything. And that's how I get most of my enjoyment in D&D has some like ad-libbing stuff. Like, so I've got little bits of information that I will then chuck out there. We'll, between the four of us, build that into an encounter. Like the ice methods. I literally had, the only information I had was what I read out. But those ice methods said they've got a pet polar bear, and if you don't go away, they're going to get their pet out. And that's it. What actually happens is kind of down to us to work out together your actions and reactions as players, and then how that works. So I've got loads more now that I haven't used, I can use in the future or might come across a game. But yeah, I think it went well. Apart from your rolling, because your rolling is atrocious.
How would you have, if we'd have continued to roll really badly, because you said DC was 12?
Yeah, so in the
Something
mountains,
like that.
DC was 12, and in the forest it was 14.
Yeah, so if all of us had continued to roll below 10 for like 3 or 4 rounds, what would you have done at DM to keep it moving?
It's a really good question.
Andy would have come along with his goat and
Cool.
carried us all through.
It would have depended on what encounter you came up against. So if you then used the encounter to try and bring you back on track, maybe you would have come across someone who actually was from Timminster and then was able to lead you through the forest on the right path directly there in a much quicker and more efficient way than you could have managed.
Cool.
But that's what I mean with it. If you're too prescriptive with the encounters, you've got no flexibility to be able to adapt those encounters to do what you need them to do as a DM. And we spoke about some of the 6Ps last month, we're going again this month, I think. Mm-hmm. We spoke about pacing and keeping the pacing right. That's a way you can use an encounter to adjust the pacing and sort of calibrate the adventure a little bit. Although your rolling was bad, you were making slow progress. So I wasn't too worried, but yeah.
Yeah, but that's the art of DMing, isn't it? Because nothing, you know full well, the one guarantee you have when you are a DM is that nothing is going to go the way you expect it to go. So you've got to have the ability to think on your feet and make adjustments. Now, whether they are things that you've anticipated could change and therefore written a little sort of a backup plan or not, or whether it's something you have to do, in real time in your mind.
Yeah.
Well, you know me, I don't plan, I just
wing
it. But, I mean, for me, another good session. nobody else has anything to add, I shall bring my little session to a close. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed last week's episode. I hope you've enjoyed the recap. I'd like to say a good night from me.
And a good night from me.
Oh, good night from me.
And a good night from me.
See you next time, guys.
And that's this week's episode concluded. It's time to thank our Patreon members. Our Ruby membership, Joshua, Alberta, Paul, Dave R, Claire, Laura, Jason.
Emerald membership, Stuart. Sapphire membership, Becca M, Gary, Neil.
Diamond Geezers, Zeke, Lizzie, Chris, Martin, John, Bertie and Ash.
And of course our Obsidian members, Ant, James, Becca GS, Ethan, Niall, Dave F, and finally our 2 ruling council members, Chris and Sophia. Thank you so much all of you for your support and for helping us do what we do.